Could have been worse. Let's be serious, viewer. Why are you here? I already told you my opinion on this remake will be fucking useless to you. I've got too many nostalgic associations with the OG Silent Hill 2. I played it 90,000 times back when I still had all my hair, and probably at least once with my hand down my trousers. You might as well ask a dog for an objective review of Bacon. If you want an unbiased perspective, go find some credulous young person who never played the original and doesn't know Pyramid Head from Hanging Gardens of Babylon foot, and ask if they like the remake. I suspect a lot of what they like will be what was copied directly from the original. Story, monster design, environment design, music, ambient sound, all mostly Control-C'd. Character design as well, although Eddie now looks like Patton Oswalt midway through transforming into Slimer from Ghostbusters, and Angela looks like she's storing nuts in her cheeks for the winter. The opening prologue, forest hike, and cemetery cutscene are more or less recreated exactly, albeit now with a Resident Evil 4 style over-the-shoulder camera, which I'm not a fan of, because it removes that sense of emotional distance that was a big part of the original's vibe, and also makes it seem like I'm inordinately fixated on James Sunderland's bottom. But in that moment I thought, hell, if all Bloober Team are doing is recreating Silent Hill 2 shot for shot with modern graphics and gameplay, then there are worse things. Lord knows since The Medium and Layers of Fear 2, I've trusted Bloober Team's original ideas as much as I'd trust Michael J. Fox to transport a wedding cake. But then I reached the end of the opening hike where I found a locked gate and a key hunt puzzle in a nearby garage, and that wasn't in the original. Ruined forever. Table flip. Okay, let's be serious for realsies now. The guiding principle behind this remake seems to be take the original, jam the air pump from Dig Dug up the arse of each individual section, and pump till it's about 3 times longer. Every boss fight is 3 phases now. The labyrinth is now 3 labyrinths, and I fail to see the point unless it's to meet the modern standard AAA quota for useless fannying about. So the opening town section has you go through a brand new puzzle sequence where you have to find and glue a record back together and put it and a coin in a jukebox. Somehow I missed the coin in my initial sweep, so I found myself frustratedly double-checking the 19 cash registers I'd encountered thus far, and the eerie atmospheric experience of a lone man unwittingly descending into horror became me running up and down the street smashing windows and payphones with a big bit of wood, yelling, "You couldn't have just had a coin on you, James? Is this why you parked so far out of town because you forgot to bring change for the meters?" Look, the OG wasn't above reproach. It had some dumb inventory puzzles too, but the solution was not to add more of the fuckers. The remake even has a slightly cocky dig at one of the particularly dumb ones. You find a trapdoor and a horseshoe covered in melted wax as if to say, yeah, like that would work. But people who live in glass houses, Bloober Team, probably shouldn't get undressed during daylight hours. Some of the dumb puzzles have just been changed laterally in ways I find bewildering. Like in the OG, at one point you fish something out of a drain with a hook on the end of a bit of hair that was the only thing in an empty box locked with 5 different mechanisms in a room belonging to a grief-stricken man whose daughter died. Yes, one wonders why James couldn't use a random bit of string, but you got a little side story out of it and it was all on theme. Meanwhile, Remake has the fish hook drain puzzle as well, except you use a random bit of string. The box with the 5 locks is still there, but as part of an entirely different puzzle, and it turns out to be actually empty. And then James gives the camera a stupid look as if to say, "Oh, got me again, Spooky Town." If Bloober Team's intent was to, broadly speaking, recreate Silent Hill 2, then I'd say they fucked up because the vibes are off. The town seems more aggressively hostile towards James, with monsters literally smashing through walls to get to him like the fucking Kool-Aid Man, where in the OG it was more of a cold, impersonal, "oh, are you still here?" liminal space sort of vibe, where the monsters were just kinda hanging out, and the most intense boss fight was Pyramid Head walking slowly around an empty room, possibly in search of an extremely sturdy hat stand. Was that better? Not necessarily. I do like the more intense combat experience. The way James can keep wailing on monsters long after they stop moving, occasionally making freaked out noises like me noticing a spider in the bath, really helps emphasize his complete lack of action protagonist credentials. I think the game's too generous with items. By the end I had enough health drinks to take a bath in the fucking stuff, and I'm both shit at dodging and prone to pressing the heal button by mistake, because it used to be the map button and I've got the sense of direction of a dude with an upturned wheelbarrow on his head. But the OG gave you too much stuff as well. I always took that as part of the town's mind games. Have all the health and ammo you can carry, because absolutely none of it's gonna help you, mate. But let's get serious, really, for realsies now. If you're here because you want my permission to like the Silent Hill 2 remake, then fine, you have it. It's a perfectly good horror game. Don't know how many points Bloober Team get for copying someone else's homework, but if you did miss out on the original, it'll give you a nice filling horror dinner. Meanwhile, from my unashamedly biased die-hard fan's perspective, the remake has done what modern remakes so often do, taken something unique and made it more like everything else. James feels flatter as a character because he's played more as generic mumbly standard protagonist man, with an arse like 2 textbooks on an ironing board. Also, I've often lauded the OG Silent Hill 2 for having next to no jump scares. It doesn't need them to give you the willies. It effectively builds a sense of cold, oppressive background willies, like After Hours at the Dildo Repair Shop. Meanwhile, the Silent Hill 2 remake has jump scares up the butt, and I don't like it when willies jump up my butt. Mannequin monsters suddenly springing to life was scary at first, but after 90,000 fucking times, the return turns diminish somewhat, and when you see that used band-aid-like flesh quivering in anticipation behind a coat rack for the umpteenth time, one's reaction becomes more, oh, for crying out loud. I told you I don't want a subscription to Kick to the Face monthly. Not for the first time, I might question the point of remaking something that was already perfectly good, and once again the obvious answer comes back that it's the good ones that make money, and it's not like we're in this for creative fulfillment or anything. Hey, you know what game does have jump scares? Silent Hill 1. Why didn't you remake that first? That you could improve upon, because the plot was cheesy, the voice acting was like a table read at the methadone clinic, and the graphics now look like a Lego dog turd on the back of a rusty shovel. Or as Konami's executive suite would call it, lunch. This video was brought to you by Incogni. Now, you know I like stealth games, but I really don't like the prolonged high-stakes stealth game that browsing the internet has become. The moment you step out from the shadows, read secure websites, you get spotted and riddled with bullets, read spam emails. Before you can even get as far as the secret documents, read porn. And that's just not good game design. Fortunately, if you sign up with Incogni at incogni.com/secondwind and use code secondwind for 60% off an annual plan, you can call Incogni up on your secret communication device, read set up your account on its intuitive dashboard, and then watch with glee as they go around the enemy base, read internet, snapping the necks of all the evil henchmen, read getting your information removed from evil data brokers, thus ensuring you can have peace of mind as you enjoy your secret documents in whatever manner most appeals. To reiterate, go to incogni.com/secondwind and use code secondwind to get 60% off an annual plan, because you can't spell infiltration without filter. Hey, don't you dare skip to the little gags at the end of the credits, Miladio. Those are for real fans who appreciate us. You can jolly well sit there and read the names of all these Patreon supporters who are good people and have their lives together. You know, if every single person watching this gave just $1 a month to the Patreon, I'd never have to do ad reads again. You know, the ad read, the thing you just saw. Oh, don't tell me you skipped the ad read as well. Jesus fucking Christ, man, what do you think pays for this content? Won't join the Patreon, won't watch the ads. On the ethical scale, that's like 0.7 Deca Hitlers.